Just let me be great. Let me be great.
Alright world, welcome to another episode of Creative Control. I'm James.
I'm Justine.
Collectively we are J Squared, and today we're actually going to spend a little bit of time just discussing social interaction and how social media has kind of diluted that interaction. I was doing a little bit of research online the other day, and I read that Facebook is the most visited website in the world. Like beyond Google, searching, anything.
Wow.
Most visited website in the world. And I remember walking around on campus and just being so enveloped in my phone and what was going on there that I was completely oblivious to what was going on in the world around me. And I think it's very important that we remember that while these websites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they're designed to keep us connected to other people, we can't ignore the importance of true social interaction.
I agree. I know I'm a newbie to social media for sure. Like I just got into Twitter like in August, and
So tragic.
man, I just couldn't get into it because people would tell me how many followers they had. They were like, I have like 200 followers, I have 500 followers. Like, you don't even know that many people. Like, in real life, like, you don't even know 500. Give me 500 names right now.
You don't know.
Didn't think so. You don't know, James? You don't know that many
She
people.
doesn't know the people I know.
So I really didn't get what the interaction was for. And I also felt like, especially with Twitter, my criticism was, why is it that people are of the mind that every thought that they have is just gold and should be shared with the rest of the world? Like, oh, I'm here taking a nap on the couch. Let me tweet that. Like, I didn't think that was cool. But I did try it, and it's fun. It is fun on a certain level. I like it. It just, for me, it doesn't replace having actual interpersonal relationships with people. Like, I have some friends who, do a lot of stuff. They're really busy, and they're always, having events and stuff like that. And when I catch up to them, they'll be like, oh, hey, you coming to my event tomorrow? I'm like, hey, I knew nothing about it. They're like, oh, I posted it on Twitter. Dude, you have my phone number. You got to call me. You got to text me. Like, I'm still very old-fashioned in that way. I wanted to just change gears a little bit because I do research. And I have read that social media use is really, really linked to depression, and the reason is because people do this comparative thing. It's like, you'll look at your life and compare it to what other people are posting, and you sit and you're like, oh, I hate myself because they're in a happy relationship, they're and I'm not, or whatever. And it's like, the important thing to remember is that with social media, you see what people want you to see. Like, for the most part, people don't talk about the problems, although there are some people who really use it as like therapy. Oh my god, he cheated on me again. Like, if you're one of those people, stop. But for the most part, people are not giving you the most accurate depiction of their life. You really have to have a stronger sense of self and know that, what you see has to be taken with a grain of salt, and you can't compare yourself to anyone else. You can't be anybody else. Like, you just have to live your own life. Did you want to?
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, just, with the perception, the false sense of perception that it creates, I think that it also creates a situation where people are socially awkward. So they don't know how to interact with other people when they put themselves in those positions.
True.
Job interviews or just walking down the street. It's like, you can speak to someone and it's hey.
Right. Because you're
and,
used to having that buffer of a screen.
Right.
Everything is, a screen and a keyboard, and you can just be somebody totally different, on your social media than you are when you actually see people, which I think is tragic as well. Like, have enough confidence in yourself to like get out, let people meet you, get the full version of yourself. Don't do the comparison thing. Like, just live your life, be happy. You can't. The time that you spend watching other people and comparing yourself, it's like, I always tell people, like, if you hustled as hard as you hate, you wouldn't have a reason to. So I really believe that, and I think that you can, kind of extrapolate that to everything. Then there's one other issue that I have with it, and it's the fact that it's like Jay-Z, who's my favorite rapper ever. He did an interview recently, and he was talking about how like he doesn't really subscribe to a lot of social media, and he was talking about how now with the leaks of people's albums and stuff like that, and it's like not even just the leaks, but also reviews, and how bloggers just get up there and it's like they get it and immediately you are bombarded with everybody else's opinion of something. So it's like, can you even have a real genuine first opinion of something? It's like before you get a new album, it's like you read the blogs and everybody and social media, and it's like, oh, this is dope, or this is not dope, or that's whack, or this, so it's like when you get it, you want to formulate your own opinion, but you've already been bombarded with what everybody else thinks. It's like you have to be on your own wave. You can't just take in what everybody else says and then have that influence so much what you think and what you feel. So I definitely think that that has something to do with it as well.
I think you bring up a really good point too with that. I think that that also is prevalent within how you view yourself. You know, I think that you become so wrapped up in what everybody else has to say, or, you know, this picture only got, 20 likes versus 200, and it creates a certain insecurity. And it's like, I have to do this to be liked, or I have to do this, to exist in this vein, or I want to attract this person or that person, so I need to take on this persona and act like, that this is your world.
Right.
When you're nothing like that. I think that you have to disconnect from that medium and really spend time with yourself. Really figure out who it is that you are and who you want to be. And therein you can interact with other people and it not be awkward. You can interact with other people and really have an appreciation, for who they are, because there isn't this buffer.
One other thing, probably the last thing that I want to say is that I think a lot of times people get caught up people watching. It's like, I remember I was watching reality TV with somebody, a friend of mine before, and I was just like, man, I was watching the Kardashians, and
The Kardashians.
The Kardashians, yeah. So I was watching the Kardashians, and I was like, man, their lives seem so awesome. They just get to go on all these awesome vacations, and it's just like the fashion and the people and whatever. And I had a thought. I was like, you know what? I really need to spend more time trying to make sure that my life is something that I want to wake up to. So it's okay to, watch reality TV and you look at Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that and be inspired. It's like you see things that you might not see in your everyday life. So I was definitely inspired, but it's like I don't want to get caught people watching. It's like the experiences that famous people have or popular people have, those things are not simply reserved for them. It's like everything that you watch, like even down to award shows. You don't have to get caught people watching. If you put yourself in a position where you're successful enough to be able to have that experience, you could be sitting beside, one of these people, as opposed to just like watching them or watching, or looking at their Twitter or Instagram or what they said about it. So it's like, make it a goal to not live your life on the other side of the velvet road. It's not something that you have to do. It's like, it's not impenetrable glass. Like, you can actually get there. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to watch, if you're going to be in awe, that's fine. But don't just be in awe, also be inspired.
I guess the last point that I would really want to make is that, I don't want this segment to be viewed as, something where we're bashing social media. I think that it's an immense, innovation. It allows us to keep in touch with people, who are far away, and it allows us to share the experiences that we have with people that we may not have had the opportunity to interact with. This medium that we have here, doing creative control, is a product of what the power of social media can do. The last point you made, just with regard to not living behind the velvet rope, making those experiences something that are tangible for yourself, is really what we're trying to articulate and drive home. So with that being said,
follow us on social media. The Life Immortal. Definitely post any comments, questions. We definitely want to know what everybody else thinks. I mean, this is about social interaction as much as anything else, as much as us just being able to get up here and say what we think. Like, we want to know what other people think. We want to use this to connect and share opinions, exchange opinions with people that we might not have the opportunity to meet. So all your awesome selves, please make sure that you, say something back, leave a comment, ask a question, whatever the situation is, and we'll be back soon.
Peace and love.